In many cases, people that use Ansible are just looking at functionality and not so much at security. That's something that you might want to reconsider. Let's check it out. So, security in Ansible is all about securing connections. The thing that is commonly used but very insecure is passphraseless SSH keys to connect to remote hosts and become as true as a standard setting. What does that mean? That means if anyone succeeds in breaking into your Ansible control machine, your account, then all of your machines are wide open and your network is extremely vulnerable. Bad idea. Especially because normally we also use passwordless privilege escalation. The thing is that insecurity is convenient. It's so convenient and people learn it like that and they never think about making it secure. How can we make it more secure? Well, there are multiple ways and what I'm proposing here is just one way. If you have another way, that's okay. The thing I care about is that your connections are secure. To start with, you can use -b and -k when needed. As a command line option, that means that you specify -b to become somebody else if it is necessary. And -k to enter the privilege escalation password, because why would you want to use passwordless privilege escalation? Also, you consider using -k instead of SSH keys. But you can also make it a little bit more convenient, and that's what I want to talk about. So to start with, do not configure passwordless solutions as a standard. Secure your SSH connections. In order to do so, you would use SSH keygen, which will generate an SSH key that is protected with a password. When you are using SSH keygen to generate your public-private key pair, you remember it prompts for a password. And to keep it easy in the beginning of this course, we pressed enter, passwordless. That's not very secure. It's much more secure if you enter a password and then to make it convenient, you use eval SSH agent $shell to start the SSH agent after logging in. That means that you need to enter your password once only. You add, that's the second part of the SSH agent. After SSH agent, you need to use SSH add to add your current identity to the agent. That's where you are prompted for your password and you will be secure for the duration of your session. So please make sure to lock your screen when you go get a cup of coffee. You can verify that using SSH add -l. And you can even consider automating this by putting it in the .bash _ profile. The idea is that you will be prompted for the key password at first use, but putting it in bash profile is not so very convenient if you are using a graphical login. So that doesn't work for everybody. But if you do, password will be cached for the remaining duration of your session. This is what you can consider putting in your .bash _ profile. Of course, that also requires you to log in Linux. Maybe you're using PuTTY or something else to log in to your SSH machine. Then you need to put it right there. Second part is sudo access. To start with, you should not use no passwd in etc sudoers. A very nice and sophisticated option is to increase the timestamp option in etc sudoers to decrease the frequency that you will have to enter a password. Because I know if you don't have no passwd, you need to enter your password every single time for privilege escalation. That's too much. Nobody likes it. Consider using the timestamp. The thing is, after entering the sudo password, a token is generated. By default, that token expires after 5 minutes. And if you work with this timestamps option and you set it to 60 minutes, 300 minutes, whatever, then you will be prompted every 60, 300, whatever minutes for your sudo password. And that's much more workable. In order to work successfully in an Ansible environment, there is one thing to consider. And that is that Ansible connections are coming in from remote machines. And in order to have that working well in sudo, you also need timestamp global, which keeps an authentication token for passwordless privilege escalation no matter which terminal the user is coming from. So the timestamp timeout is 60, keeps the token for 60 minutes, which is doable. If you want to do this, you need these options on all of the managed servers. And you can consider using Ansible to get it in there. Use Ansible line in file. And next, on first contact, you use -K to prompt for privilege escalation password. And in all subsequent commands, you can safely omit -K until you see an error. And once you see an error, that means that your token is expired and you use -K again. Here we have all these steps on one slide. Let me show you how you can use these steps to make your Ansible connections more secure. Alright, I am going to do this for a change from the Fedora machine. So I am going to use SSH keygen to generate the public-private key pair. Enter file, that's okay. Enter passphrase, this is where I'm going to enter my very secret passphrase. Going once, going twice, there we go. Now I'm going to use eval ssh agent /bin/bash. SSH agent is caching this passphrase for you in your current shell. It needs the current shell as the argument. And next you can use ssh add to .ssh id _rsa. Double check the id rsa. Here we can see that it is indeed id rsa. You enter your passphrase and now the identity is added. So use ssh add -l in case you want to verify, and there we go, the cached identity. So now I can use ssh copy id to copy the public key to the managed host. So ssh copy id to Ansible 1. So while copying over the key, it will prompt you for a password. That's obvious because you need it before you can actually use it. But that's a one-time option. So if I use ssh Ansible 1 who am I, for instance, now we can see I'm user Ansible, so that is good enough. Next, we need to make sure that we have some option. Using a line in file to replace the default section in etc sudoers on all of the managed hosts. So let's do that, and let's do that in Ansible CVC. I'm just checking if we have an inventory. Yeah, I have an inventory, so that should be good. So vim make me secure.yaml, and we are using make me secure hosts Rocky. Tasks, oops. And what are we going to do? Well, I think that line in file is good enough. Line in file, and a line in file is going to work with the name etc sudoers, and the line is defaults timestamp type is global, and timestamp timeout is 60. That's a nice value to start with. And we need, oh, it's nice to have the regular expression that we are actually looking for before. So regex on colon defaults, and then we have this line, and we add validate to user has been vi sudo -cf on %s. This is the validation that's pretty important if you are going to change your sudo configuration. So now I can use Ansible playbook on make me secure. -K and -K and -B even. -K? No, not -K. We have a passphrase, just -B and -K. That's a become password, and now I still need to use a become password. And oh no, no host pattern on Rocky. That's an inventory issue. And as you can see, this is not the inventory that I need. So let me fix that. Ansible 1 and Ansible 2, and let me run it again. And now, what are we going to do? Well, I am going to use Ansible, Ansible all, -a, ls /root, -b, -k. I just changed it, so the changed parameter must be stored in cache somewhere. So I'm entering my password, and there we go. And now if you run it again, just -b, there you can see it is working again without the -k privilege escalation. Now the thing is, after an hour, we will see an error. And then, yeah, it does require some thinking. Security never makes it easier, but it makes it more secure. If the person who's in charge of managing these machines starts thinking about, oh, I am getting an error, oh yeah, my password has expired, one more time, -k, and you're good to go in a secure way for another hour or whatever you decided to do. I mean, it's a nice mix between convenient and secure. I hope you are going to use it. Let's check what is in the next video.